The big tower. You can see it more easily from outside. They've actually hidden most of the original tower when they've done all the other remodeling. He wanted to marry her, but she refused him. And one night he came to her and made her drink
In reached, he whipped out his sword and cut the rope, causing her to...
The garden. That's it, you know. This I've been there, I've been the garden. Peace. Yeah.
Dann die linke Hand und laufen.
Einfach laufen.
Dann bis 11 Stoppzeit, ne?
Good morning, everybody. Introduce ourselves. Andy, and the first bird to fly this morning, everyone. Her name is Aggie. So let me tell you a little bit about Aggie. The biggest question I get here at Dunrobin is, Andy, what is the difference between a hawk and a falcon? I'm hoping to show you all the details. Aggie is a hawk, everyone. I'd like to have a look at her physique. It is different to the falcon, and she does have quite a broad wing that is rounded towards the end. When we get her up close, I'm hoping for you to see she does have very long legs and also a very long tail. Now, hawks are predominantly tree line hunters, so they hunt from trees or around tree height. Falcons are different. And this particular hawk, everyone, is called a Harris hawk. And it is a non-native species of hawk in Scotland or the UK. It's actually coming from the Americas, and I'd like you to know why I'm using a non-native species, everyone. The Harris hawk is the only bird of prey in the world that is gregarious in the wild. So that means they live and they hunt in packs, and they come from the desert area of America, the Arizona desert, the Mojave desert, Sonoran, and ranging right down through that arid coast of West Mexico into Peru. Now, being gregarious and living and hunting in packs, everyone, I'd like you to notice she does have a large white patch to the base of her tail. And this is used as a communication aid amongst all the Harris hawks that live in the desert. When they're hunting, everyone, they will start to flash this white patch at the base of the tail if they find something to hunt. And that could be anything from a rabbit-sized mammal right down through the range of rodents. They do catch a lot of quail in the American desert, and I do believe quite a number of snakes in their diet also. So, when she's found something to hunt, everyone, she'll start to flash this white patch, and all the other Harris hawks around the desert floor can see this white patch being flashed, and they'll start to gather on the cactus where Aggie's found something to hunt. Well, this species, everyone, is very clever, and she can also run across the ground very well. I'd like you to show you that next, because once there's enough of the pack members gathered on the cactus, okay, the other Harris hawks will run through the scrub at the base of the cactus, and they'll be flushing out the rest of the game for all the Harris hawks above. So let's see how Aggie can run across the desert floor, hoping to flush the game out.
Der rennt.
these falconers. Only utilised since around the 1950s, everyone. But because of this gregariousness, it does lend itself very well to modern falconry. So after I finish doing the display season, I'm allowed to use the whole sporting estate here at Dunrobin, everyone, and we could go hunting with these hawks, hoping in the future to take 4 guests at one time. I can fly up to 4 Harris hawks at one time, and after a short amount of tuition, they can have the hawk, the glove, the bag, the meat, and I can oversee the operation. We could go for a hawk walk for an hour or so through the back of those woods there. But if we wanted to go for a hunting day, everyone, all I'd have to do is take along the dog with us, and the dog will be finding and flushing the full-grown rabbits and cock pheasants. So we could go for a hunting day. Now I do have a hunting scenario set up for you here today. I'm hoping you to have seen the hawk. He's flying at around 45 miles per hour. I'm not sure if you're aware, but rabbits, they can run at around 35 miles per hour. So she does have the slight advantage, everyone. And there's a young lady in the audience who's agreed to help me show you how this happens today. And her name's Yella, and she's going to come up here and she's going to help demonstrate how the hawk would catch a rabbit. Excellent. Take hold of the rope, Yella, and just don't go till I say. In a minute, everyone, Yella is going to attempt to run down this lawn at the same speed as a rabbit, 35 miles per hour. I hope to show you all how we would catch a rabbit at the time. On your marks, get set, go, Yella. Yo, now, run,
Now.
run, go, fast.
Oh shit.
Stop.
That rabbit's had it.
Thank you very much. Okay, everyone. Now, that's how we would catch the rabbit.
Du warst der Hase, hat er gerade gesagt. Wie ein Hase rennst du darüber.
Das heißt, ich bin schnell. She can administer about 1,000 pounds worth of pressure, or the same sort of pressure as a medium-sized dog can, and gripping down on that pressure with her feet and sinking those inch-long talons into the rabbit. But she's also got a very specialised system to her tendons, and as she's going down on these levels of pressure, everyone, she can lock her feet where she wants to hang on to that rabbit and relax this muscle at the same time. That's how she can hang on to a live rabbit for so long, waiting for her pack members to come and help her. But I would like you to know next a little bit about the history of the hawk in falconry, everyone, because it was the hawk here that was always known as the chef's bird. And the reason for that is you will catch way more game with a hawk like this working at close quarters and only flying at 45 miles per hour, way more than you ever will do a super fast falcon. Okay, I'd like you to see next with a much smaller piece of meat, everyone. I'm going to exchange that large rabbit for something she can eat right away. And once hidden the rabbit, we could then release the hawk back into the tree, and we could carry on and catch another rabbit or a pheasant, and so on and so on.
Was hat er jetzt gefragt? Was hat er jetzt gesagt? Er macht jetzt was anderes.
So once the hawk's made the exchange, everyone, and I've hidden that rabbit, after a small amount of food, she could then be released back into the trees, and we could carry on hunting in the hope we'd get the dog to find and flush another rabbit and a pheasant, and so on and so on. But I would like you to know it was the hawk here that made falconry such a popular subject it became, because before the invention of the gun, everyone, even though the royalty and nobility were keeping the falcons only for themselves, I'd like you to know any working class man here in the British Isles was allowed to trap and train a wild hawk from the woods from the purpose of gathering game. And this is why it became the most talked about subject in the ale houses of the day. If you were a working class man with a large family and you did have the knowledge of how to trap and train a hawk like this from the woods, in only 3 weeks from trapping, you could be putting large amounts of game on the table for your family. How important important would that have been in times gone by before the invention of the gun? Now, the manager at Dunrobin, he very kindly did some research for me before I got here to Dunrobin, everyone. He found by thumbing through the old archives that before the invention of the gun, there were always around 6 falconers minimum employed here at Dunrobin Castle, making sure enough game came through the kitchens to feed all the staff and all the people that lived in that large house. Now, you'll probably notice when you come to Dunrobin, everyone, we don't have huge amounts of birds here, and I'd like you to know why. We are not a zoo, we are not a menagerie. This is a small team of hunting hawks and falcons, and I get the whole permission in the winter time to go hunting on the whole Dunrobin estate. And all that the Earl asked of me, he said, Andrew, when our guests arrive in the summertime, would you please show them the difference of what a hunting hawk is and does and what a hunting falcon is and does. I'm hoping now you've got a good basic idea of the hawk, everyone. This is the peregrine falcon. I'm sure you've all heard of one of those, and he is renowned as being the fastest of all the birds of prey. I don't know whether anybody in the audience might happen to know the top speed of a peregrine. That young man? Not quite that fast. Almost though. Okay everyone, you don't have to believe me. Have a look, it's right there on the internet under Frightful the Falcon. And under that shot film of the National Geographic, I'd like you to know Frightful was actually timed with all the specialist equipment at the speed in the dive of 242 miles per hour. So he wasn't far away, was he? Now, that not only makes the peregrine falcon, everyone, the fastest bird of prey in the world, but just consider this while I get him ready for you next. That makes the peregrine officially the fastest creature to have ever lived on planet Earth. If you give me a minute, I'll get him ready for you next. Down the bottom, but I'd like to have a look at his physique, everyone. He's completely different to the hawk. In relation to his body size, he does have very long pointy wings, a much shorter tail in relation to his body size than the hawk. When we look at the falcon's legs, everyone, almost quite short and stumpy compared to the hawk also. And I'd like you to know that the reason for the differences in physique is they do hunt in a completely different way. Falcons are specialist avian bird catchers from the sky at high speed, and the peregrine has evolved to catch pigeon, which is his favourite of foods, but also other birds. Now, when he's doing that, everyone, he's falling from the sky in these super fast dives, flapping his wings but falling and gathering momentum as he falls towards the earth. He's using his tail, just like a ship's rudder, to help guide himself towards the bird he's hunting. And these two short stumpy legs are kept tucked under the plumage for streamliners, but as he gathers pace to get closer to the bird he's hunting, everyone, at the last minute out from under the undercarriage come the two short stumpy legs, both fists clenched just like a boxer. He's delivering an accurate high impact blow as he shoots through at high speed with his feet to the back of the bird's head. Now, when I go hunting with him in the winter time, and we flush game birds underneath, if we do catch a grouse, I normally see that the skull is completely flattened on the carcass, so taking out the central nervous system in one quick accurate blow is the trait of a falcon. Okay, I hope you get the idea. The next biggest question I get here at Dunrobin is that this little man is called Robin, by the way. Is Andy, why are the falcons and hawks wearing leather crash helmets? So it's called a hood, everyone, and it's been used for a long, long time. In fact, there was a bas-relief tile found in Syria depicting a falcon wearing a leather hood like this, and it was carbon dated back to more than 2,000 years ago. So we know our ancestors were utilising these hawks and falcons to put food on the table well before the invention of the gun. This is still the most useful tool a falconer has at his disposal. It enables me to keep him nice and calm while we travel to the hunting ground. He does not understand glass, and if he saw a pigeon through the window when we were travelling up there, he would think the hunt was on. He would be trying to get to it, breaking all his primary feathers up against the glass, getting himself in a state. It's my job to keep him nice and calm And if I go to a school, everyone, to give a talk, and the children come bursting out the classroom down the corridor towards us, his eyes start to bulge and he looks at me as if to say, get me out of here. I can just pop the hood on and he'll stay nice and calm until we all calm down. Okay, let's get on with the flying. I don't know whether you know, but the word peregrine, everyone, does mean wanderer, and there is a subspecies on every single continent except Antarctica. Here in the British Isles, everyone, our subspecies is known as Peregrinus peregrinus, and he was known as the execution falcon in medieval time because he fell falling from the sky at high speed, poleaxing his pigeons stone dead to the floor. The executioners of the day used to emulate him by wearing a black mask. Okay, you'll see this when I take it off, and all the subspecies of peregrine throughout the world do have a black hood. Now, I'm using today in my bag, everyone, it's called a lure. It's just a piece of leather with some meat tied to it. It's what I use to retrieve the falcon in the winter time when we're hunting because he's so fast I can't call him to the glove. And right now that hunting is illegal, but Robin doesn't know that, so I have to convince him it's a good idea to play a chase game on the lawn with the lure, and this keeps him nice and fit until we're allowed to go hunting again. But please be aware, anybody moving around in the crowd, he will be coming through at 60-70 miles per hour. He did knock somebody's glasses off who tried to get up last week. It was a near accident. So if you all can sit still as you can while we're flying, I would appreciate that. Okay, good luck everybody.
Der Jagd. Mal guck, jetzt denkt er, das ist Pressen. Die Flügel aufspannen. Guck mal. Guck dir das mal an, die Flügel. Der schwitzt schon. Ja, ja. Würde ich aber auch gucken, wie schnell er sich umdreht.
Okay everyone, I'm not going to keep this up forever. This is a bit like sprint training for him. He's doing a great job. Hey.
Oh man.
He's super.
I'm going to let him have it after this one. Hey Robin. He's panting hard there, that's good work. And I'm not far behind. like you to know how we go hunting with this lovely little falcon in the winter time. Because after we've flown the hawks in the morning, the falcons have been left to rest on their perches with a bath, and they're loaded into the vehicle in the afternoon with our specialist hunting dog, the English Pointer. As we get to the moor, everyone, the dog is released and he starts to work into the Scottish heather, into the wind, quartering left and right as we move forward to try and find game. Now, once he's found that game, everyone, using his nose, he'll go on a point just like this. And he'll stay like that for up to an hour. I know, because I've lost him behind a hill before. As soon as I see this, I take off the first falcon's hood to hunt, and he starts to make his way up into the sky to his proper hunting pitch. For this little falcon, it's normally about 500 to 600 feet, and as he's climbing into the sky above the dog, everyone, I leave the dog quietly on the moor, and I go all the way round in a semicircle, so I don't disturb the game birds in front of the dog. And I'm watching Robin getting higher and higher and higher, and as I come round about 80 yards, the wind is coming from me but going towards that dog, and the dog and I are now looking at each other. Hopefully somewhere in the middle is the game bird grouse, everyone, which the dog has told me is there. I don't know, I can't see them, but I then wait for the boss to give me the signal of when to flush. He is the boss in this whole game, I'm just a servant on the floor. And when he's ready, everyone, he will stop flapping his wings, he will settle at his hunting pitch, he'll do one whole circuit in the sky above me with a fixed wing. That means flush my game for me now, falconer, as he comes over the top. And as I'm his servant, it's called serving him his grouse. On his command, I start to move towards the dog, everyone. I don't know where the grouse are, but as I get too close, they all of a sudden burst out the heather, and that's when I shout, "Hey!" I look up, and this is when Robin folds up his wings. He goes into that special dive like a missile, and he starts heading towards the earth. Now, it only takes him 6 to 7 seconds to get down from that height in the sky, but the grouse are already skipping over the moor, everyone, at 75, 85 miles per hour down the wind, depending on the wind speed. And Robin is gaining on them like this, everyone. And as he gets closer, you would probably think it's a foregone conclusion. But the grouse are very wily, very clever birds. I've seen the grouse coming past me, everyone, and at the last minute, the falcon's about to strike. I've seen them do a barrel roll like this, and the falcon shoots straight past. We've missed by about this much at 200 miles an hour, and all the grouse go laughing and cackling at us. I've also seen the grouse coming down the wind, everyone, and the falcon about to strike, and at the last minute, the grouse just pull up their wing feathers, drop down a notch in the sky, and the falcon's gone whizzing over the top, and we've missed again. I've seen them cleverly pulling their tail feathers, just jump up a notch in the sky, and the falcon's gone whizzing underneath, and we've missed again. Well, we only catch about 1 in 10 when we go out with the falcon, everyone. And people ask me, say, "Andy, why do you bother?" But it's not about putting lots of game in the bag with a falcon, everyone. It's about watching him at super high speed, great accuracy, pitted against a game bird that is so difficult to catch. And when we do get one, everyone, I normally hear a loud across the moor, and I see the game bird, the grouse, fall stone dead into the heather. There's usually a large puff of feathers hanging over the moor where he's knocked it in. Let me bring him closer to the crowd.
Jetzt kommt er ein bisschen dichter. Jetzt bringt er ihn noch ein bisschen her.
And when we have managed to catch one, everyone, and we've heard that loud whack across the moor, he turns away from the earth after hitting it, gets rid of all that kinetic energy and turns round and lands on it in the moor. And on a cold winter's day, everyone, that's when the dog turns to me and he looks me in the eye and he starts licking his chops, because he knows he's going to get a nice warm bit of offal from the carcass. And that dog now runs maybe sometimes a quarter of a mile through the heather, lying next to this little dog, falcon, waiting for his titbit. And doing that, everyone, that dog's now providing me with a free bodyguard on the moor for this falcon. That dog's protecting him from any wild golden eagles, any harriers or any foxes that might be lurking in the heather. Now, lots of people ask me at the display here, they say, Andy, we kind of get what you're talking about, but what is this grouse thing? I'd like you to know it's the fastest of all the game birds in the British Isles, living in the heather, everyone, and also eating the heather shoots. And if nobody is sure of what one looks like, I'm sure while you're on holiday, you will all be going for a nice meal here somewhere in Scotland. And when you do, everyone, please ask the barman to get down from the shelf the famous grouse whiskey bottle, because on there is depicted a lovely picture of exactly what a red grouse is. And if you drink that bottle like me, you'll see many more. Now, I'm going to stand on the edge of the lawn here. If anybody would like a nice picture next to Robin with the castle in the background, you're more than welcome. I'd just like to say to everyone, thank you for coming down to our display here this morning. We do hope that you enjoyed the birds and the information. But most of all, everyone, we hope you have a great holiday here in Scotland. That is the end of this morning's display. Thank you.
Das war das Ende? Ja. Er setzt jetzt den Falken dahin und auch mal ein Foto machen.
Otherwise, you all crowd round, you can't get a decent picture. Yellow, would you like a picture right next to him? Yeah. Come here then. Guys, if you just give yourselves a minute, I'll be here for a while. We can all get one from the front and get the castle. Just give yourselves a bit of space. And if anyone's got any questions on falconry or what, anything that you might be unsure of what happened here today, don't be afraid to ask.
Andy, how long did it take to train these birds?
Usually about 3 weeks. But if you had a wild one, which is what our ancestors used to do,
Schluss.